Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high, cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live, somebody. Let's go.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. Hope this show finds you in good spirits. Hope your weekend was good. Hope your Sunday was fantastic. If I didn't see you guys, or if you didn't see me over this past weekend, hopefully it was a wonderful one. Hopefully it was everything you needed it to be and more. Hopefully you caught up with things. Or hopefully you got that much needed R&R that you rightfully deserved. Anyway, guys, we have to take a look at this press conference. We're going to be looking at this press conference here in just a minute. Obviously, this is going on. This happened just a little bit ago. I wanted to hop on. I wasn't able to be here live at the time of the press conference covering this mysterious disappearance of these two women, Veronica Butler and Jilian Kelley. So I wanted to give you guys that press conference because they do give us, I don't even know what to call it. You know, honestly, I don't even know what to call it. Is it updates? Is it not? They did talk. Words were said in front of a microphone, but is it the information that we need? We're going to talk about it all. Okay, we got a lot to talk about, y'all. We got a lot to talk about. And like I said, the press conference we will be watching together as a family. So real quick, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Hit that like button down below, please and thank you. Okay, send it past as many likes as you can. Of course, hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. I apologize for starting early, but this is a very, very busy afternoon for myself on other cases that we will be covering this afternoon. It's an action-packed day, guys, just letting you guys know. So, and I'll explain all that in just a little bit. So please hit that like button down below. Crush it. That would really mean a lot. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. On those other platforms like Facebook, X/Twitter. Okay, please follow me on those. That's where I'm also live streaming at the same time as we speak right now. So please go hit that follow button on those respective pages. Follow me on TikTok. Go and check out my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. That would be greatly appreciated. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to crush that subscribe button over here as well. Okay, the family's growing beautifully. It's an amazing amount of reaction and support that this channel has been getting, and we really do appreciate it. Okay, why am I saying we? I really appreciate it. Okay, so please hit that subscribe button, join the family, hit that join button down below. Okay, become a member. Also, please, if you want to support the channel even further, go check out patreon.com/the Pascal Show. That'd be greatly appreciated. Okay, and of course, check out my merch page or my merch store, pascalmerch.kazam. Okay, it's just .com. I don't know why I had to add that extra je ne sais quoi, but I did it anyway. Okay, pascalmerch.com. Okay, guys. Anyway, we got to get into this. Okay, we got some things we got to look at. We got two news clips that we're going to take a look at before we go into this press conference. And the reason why I say that, the reason why we're looking at these is because it's important. There's some information that is being set out here in these streets about these two women, not only just the arrests that have happened, but also them saying that they have found the remains or have found two bodies. And a lot of people, including the media, are assuming or speculating, at least, that these two bodies that were found are that of Veronica Butler and Jilian Kelley. Now, what's interesting is what you're going to hear from 5-0 in a little bit as well. It's very, very interesting, okay? You're going to hear it in the press conference. They do not confirm nor deny that these women's bodies have been found, yet they do say that they have perished, that they do not believe that these two women are still alive out there just being held against their will. Like I said, that is some very important information I think that we need to put into our brain matter. Okay? Put that bee in your bonnet. I thought that was weird, y'all. I'm going to keep it a buck. Thought that was weird. But nonetheless, let's take a look at some of these videos really quick before we go into this press conference. Because like I said, meh is, the press conference was meh to me. But at the same time, some of y'all might have walked away from the press conference with more information. But for me, it was kind of a meh. No disrespect to 5-0. I get it that they're going to be playing a lot of things close to the vest, but they are playing a lot of things close to the vest. We're going to take a look at all that. But let's take a look at this first. News Nation covered and talked about the 2 remains being found, of course. And then, of course, this is obviously from this morning and them talking about, obviously, they're expecting a press conference here very, very soon, so on and so forth. Like I said, trying to give you a little bit of a timeline, breadcrumbs leading up to the press conference. Please do me a favor, hit the number 1. Let me know you guys can hear this. Let us rock and resolve.
Now bring in Mary Ellen O'Toole, retired FBI special agent and director of the Forensic Sciences program at George Mason University. Mary Ellen, thanks for joining me this morning. Talk about a weekend. I mean, in just a couple of days, you had 4 arrests and the discovery of what will likely be the bodies of the 2 moms. We're expecting that press conference today from OSBI. As a retired FBI agent yourself, what are you expecting to come of that later today?
What I would be expecting at this point, short of any additional information in the next couple of hours, is that they will have identified the 2 bodies that they found. They will provide the cause of death. To me, it was really interesting that they already established the manner of death, homicide, before they even found the 2 bodies. So they must have a lot of forensic evidence there that allowed them to reach that conclusion. But I would expect that they will finalize that. They may amend the charges as well. Those are very serious charges to be filed preliminarily. So we'll see whether or not they will amend those charges based on what they've learned happened at that crime scene.
Yeah, and you bring me to my next question with the charges and the evidence. The suspects were all charged with a couple counts of first-degree murder, kidnapping, conspiracy to commit murder in the first degree. Just based on hearing that, what would evidence have to look like, Mary Ellen, for investigators?
Let me just point this out. These are the charges that all 4 of those individuals are looking at. Let me just show you guys their man. Yeah. I wish I had time to just roast the hell out of them right now, but I'm not going to right now because we got many, many miles to go before we sleep tonight. Okay. But still, nonetheless, you got 4 people. So I was incorrect in the latter half of yesterday's breaking news or Saturday's breaking news information about there being, I thought that there was a 5th person that was actually arrested or was brought in, right? It actually is just 4, okay? But you got Cole Earl Twombly, you got Cora Twombly, you got Tad Burt Cullum, and Tiffany Adams with 1 F. And of course, I look at this and see Tiffany Adams, okay, with 1 F, as the one who is the mastermind behind this whole thing. Let's be real. She is the grandmother of the 2 children that were in this nasty custody battle. Okay, that was in the middle of this nasty custody battle between the Adams, or I guess Tiffany Adams' son and Veronica Butler. Again, that was really, really bad. Now, the thing is there are claims, just a quick reminder, there were claims that Veronica Butler made claims that her kids were victims of SA under the supervision of the ex-boyfriend. If I'm correct, it's the ex-boyfriend and or grandmother. And then the grandmother retaliated back saying, no, the moment this tragic thing that happened, this SA happened under the visage and under the supervision of Veronica Butler. Now, I don't know how Veronica Butler lost all custody. I don't know how she lost all of that, but still pretty wild information and shocking. Because again, the reason why these two women, let me just show their faces real quick. The reason why these two women were on their way to this rendezvous point, this place, this Four Corners, if I remember correctly, this gas station, abandoned gas station, was because this was the time that she was going to be able to have with her children, and Jilian was there as a supervisor, court-appointed supervisor to watch over Veronica when she has the children in her possession. Pretty wild stuff, okay? And of course, these two women went missing. It's wild, the information that we hear from the media, what the media has said out here as far as what the scene looked like, where the crime scene, this car, what evidence was left behind that gives off foul play, bad things have happened. You're going to hear in the press conference, there's a lot of pushback. There's a lot of not willing to give us the information that I think media was able to get leaked out. Okay. You're going to hear all this stuff. It's weird. It's like, they're like, nope, we can't confirm that. We can't talk about that. We can't confirm, deny it. We can't say that. Nope. You're going to hear a lot of no's and nopes. Okay. Which is very, very interesting nonetheless. Okay. But let's not forget, there is also allegedly Jillian's mother that is out here saying that not only did Jilian lose her life, but also that the grandma confessed, that she fessed up, that she had her hand in unaliving these two women. Pretty crazy stuff, guys. Okay. But you got to remember, it wasn't only just grandmama. It wasn't just Gam. There's 3 other people involved as well. 4 people together, band together and did this unthinkable thing. Allegedly. Innocent till proven guilty in a court of law and all that stuff. But obviously, 5-0 saw something, and now they're looking at these types of charges. Let me show you guys those again. All right. Looking like members of the Addams family, literally, because their last name is Addams. But moving on, as you can see here, let me blow this up for you guys, for all y'all in the nosebleed seats, because I know some of y'all are still using an iPhone 2. But look at this. All right. Charges. 2 counts of first-degree M, 2 counts of kidnapping, 1 count conspiracy to commit M in the first degree. Okay? Crazy, right? They all get, I mean, like, I hate to try to massage this all the way down into the marrow, but think about this for a second. You got somebody who sat there looking at these 2 children, angry at whatever she's angry about, or angry in unison with her son, maybe, and sat down and literally thought this out. Oh, we're going to do this. We're going to have this, and this. We're going to maybe change locations on them, and then we're going to strike. And then think about this too. Not only did somebody have to plot that, think that up, but you have other people that said, yeah, we down for, we ride or die, we body. How does that happen? And then at the end of the day, let's not forget, there are 6 children, 6 of them. Jilian Kelley has 4 children herself. All of them have been rid of their mothers. All of them have been rid of the people that cared for them, that brought them into this world. All because Gam just felt like getting a little gangster. That's disturbing, y'all. So what's wild to me is one person thinks this thing up. What really sends me to to Pluto, okay? By the way, is Pluto a star or a planet? Did they change that again? Never mind. But the fact that that this sends me to Pluto, the fact that there were 3 other people that said, yeah, let's do that. And then after that, let's go to the Sizzler. Please explain that to me. You know, some of these people went on and were celebrating birthdays and living their lives, continuing on like nothing had happened. That's insane to me, guys. I've said it a million times, but evil wears many faces. Many. And right now, it's these faces. It's wearing these masks right now. Ain't that something, y'all? Ain't that something? Crazy. Let's continue, guys. Man, oh man.
On hearing that, what would evidence have to look like, Mary Ellen, for investigators to bring those charges against them and take them into custody?
Such a great question. It would have to be pretty significant. It would have to be information that came from probably several sources. One of them would be the forensics. That would be very important. And it sounds like they were able to determine a lot from the vehicle. So the forensic evidence is going to be very important and very critical. But secondly, they probably had human source information. And by that, I mean, when you have 4 people who possibly couldn't be involved in something like this, especially something where you're looking at the severest of charges, it's not unlikely that somebody talked in order to even reduce their charges, or that somebody told somebody else and it ends up on Facebook. So I think they probably had that information as well, so they could put the 2 together. But it looks like authorities were absolutely confident that they got it right, again, before they even identified the 2 bodies.
Yeah, I'm curious what these 4 are saying just behind the scenes here.
I guarantee you some of them are squawking. I guarantee you that. Now, if what Jillian's mother said is actually true, then that would make it sound like, you know, Grandma Gam is just talking. And maybe she's just realizing like, okay, I'm caught. It is what it is. I need to fess up. I need to confess and keep it moving. Maybe that's true. Maybe not. Because, I mean, if you're willing to be this diabolical, if you're willing to be this evil, who's to say? Anything's possible. But there's enough information out here that's been leaked to the press that tells us, hey, you know, they did this. They most definitely did. And the fact that the cavalry pulled up like that in the way that they did, I mean, they were deep pulling up to that house or pulling up to that property just to arrest these people. Says a lot as well. And I keep wondering, how deeply connected is Gam to the police, to local police? I'm not sitting here saying, oh, there's corruption and whatnot, but at the same time, they may not have looked at her in any type of suspicious way in the very beginning because of maybe the strong connection, the strong relationship that she has with local PD. It's very interesting. But like I said, we're going to be looking at some stuff. We got some things to talk about because, again, not a lot of people were willing to talk because this was in a small town. This was in a small town, okay? People were going, oh, nope, I'll say something, but I need to be off camera. I'm going to say something, but, you know, you need to muffle my face. You know what I mean? Or, you know, do the mosaic thing, you know, blur it out, you know? But now everybody's starting to show up. Everybody's just stepping forward and be like, yep, I was there and I knew that they were wrong. They were evil. It's interesting. It's very interesting. And at the same time, just like Nicole just said, I was just about to say this. I don't blame anybody for trying to hide, but being like, I do want to say something, but can I just stay behind this corner? Because these streets out here are small and very, very dangerous indeed. Let's continue on, though.
We're waiting and standing by to see what OSBI has to share today. Mary Ellen O'Toole.
Yes. And of course, we're going to be hearing from OSBI and law enforcement here in just a second. I do have another clip I want to share with you guys here as well before we go into the actual press conference. Okay. But still, nonetheless, the information. Remember, these two women were driving off for a visitation. Jilian was an acquaintance, not a good friend, just an acquaintance. She was there, court ordered, because she was supervising Veronica Butler's visitation. We understand, or we heard from family and from people, eyewitnesses or friends, basically saying that she was very excited about seeing her kids. They were going to go do some really fun stuff for the weekend, so on and so forth. Of course, they disappeared. Car was left on the side of the road. And obviously, it was in disarray. It looked like there was some sort of struggle, and it looked like there was some sort of foul play. Then days go by. We don't see anything from police as far as setting up a grid. We don't see canines out here. We don't see cadaver dogs sniffing around. Nothing. We don't see volunteers coming together and linking arms, going shoulder to shoulder, combing through fields, because where they were found, or where the car was left behind, was a deserted, dusty road in the middle of these fields. Okay. We are all wondering what the heck's going on. Why isn't law enforcement doing anything? Why hasn't there been such a huge reaction locally in regards to finding these two women? And one of the reasons why I was thinking maybe they're not out here like that is because law enforcement already knows exactly where they need to go. They didn't need technology. They didn't need security cams. They were able to reverse math this whole thing in the way that they needed to do within the investigation, within the clues, within the things that were left behind, and maybe cell phone data, etc. They were able to do what they needed to do and find these four people in connection to their disappearance. That's some incredible work. I will say that. You know what? I will say that. I give credit where credit is due. Dag nabbit, law enforcement, you better be law enforcing. You better, investigators, you better be investigating. That's how you drive, bro. That's how you drive. Okay? But the information that was given to us, leaked, I guess, is saying that there was blood. That apparently someone was shot. So on and so forth. Those were things that were being said in the conversations and in the news that has been leaked out through multiple outlets. Okay? Like I said, you're going to hear in a second. You're going to hear in a little bit within this press conference that they're not even confirming any of that information at all. They are literally not saying nothing, not a damn thing when it comes to this. And this is wild. I just don't know why. Okay. We're going to look at that in just a second. I got one more clip. Reason why I'm showing this to you guys as well. I know I showed up. I started early. I know some of you guys are still kind of coming up late to the party. Let me show you guys this one last news clip, and then we're going right into the press conference. Okay. Let's take a look.
Two bodies found in a rural area of Oklahoma are being examined today. Authorities are trying to determine whether or not they belong to the two mothers from Kansas.
I want to point out, believed to be the moms. Two bodies were found. They are believed to be the moms. It does not say that it is the moms. They have not identified these bodies as the moms. I just want to make that abundantly clear. Okay, because I know that there's been some people out here saying different. Does not mean it is the moms. It could be. It probably is. Let's keep it real. It probably is. But at the same time, you're going to hear in this press conference, they do not confirm that at all either. But they do know that they have perished, which is very interesting to me. Let's continue.
Went missing over Easter weekend. Kelsey is here with us. Kelsey, talk about major developments that came in this weekend, including SWAT storming in for arrests. Our crews were there for the entire thing as it unfolded.
Yeah, hey there, Marky. That was a shocking scene, and we're going to get to that. But right now, I can tell you that officials, they are trying to now identify those two bodies that were found, and they're trying to determine the cause of death. Investigators say that they fear that these two bodies are of the two missing women, Veronica Butler and Jilian Kelley. There were also several arrests this weekend. Right now, these four individuals here on your screen are suspected in the disappearance of the two women. They are currently being housed in a Texas county jail, each facing first-degree murder, kidnapping, and conspiracy charges. 54-year-old Tiffany Adams, her boyfriend, Tad Collum, and Cole and Cora Twombly. And Tiffany Adams is the grandmother of the two children that Veronica Butler was on her way to pick up on March 30th. Adams, we know, was fighting against more visitation. Oklahoma investigators have not said what led them to charge these four suspects. But take a look at this video here, only seen here on News Nation. More than 20 SWAT and police vehicles headed to various locations in Texas and Cimarron counties in Oklahoma. Outside of one compound, we know that News Nation overheard an officer using a loudspeaker saying, "We have a warrant for your arrest." The officers were heavily armed and cautious towards anyone who approached them, even our team at News Nation. Veronica Butler and Jilian Kelley were on their way to pick up Butler's two children from school when they went missing last month. Their car was later spotted on the side of the road abandoned. We know Butler was in a bitter custody battle with the father of her children. Kelley was a court-approved supervisor during Butler's visitation.
There we go.
And we have learned that just 10 days before the women went missing, Butler filed a petition seeking full custody of her children. And that court hearing would have been this Wednesday.
Ain't that crazy? Like I said, the court hearing would have been this week, Wednesday of this week. And then these people decided to do the unthinkable, which is rid these children of their mother, rid these children of these mothers. You got to remember, Jilian had nothing to do with this. She was an innocent bystander. She was just in the car, doing her job, doing what she was court appointed to do. Supervise the visitation with Veronica Butler and her two children. And Jilian still lost her life because of four alleged monsters. There could be more that were involved in this. You just never know. But who does this? Who goes out of their way and go, the fact that she's going to try to get custody over her own children. How dare she? You know what? We got to get rid of her. Yep, that's what we got to do. We got no other choice. All we got to do, we just got to get rid of her. How does that even get processed in the brain? To the point where it ends up being like how this went down. Like I said, some people just have no damn brains. It's heartbreaking. All because of power, having control and power over the situation. That's the way I see it. Because at the end of the day, you got to remember, you got Veronica Butler that initially said something about the kids being victims of SA under that family's supervision. Then they retaliated and threw back that same claim against Veronica Butler. Now, I don't know if mud was slinging, if like Veronica just was slinging mud at that family as an attempt to try to get full custody over her children, trying to keep the ex as far away from the children as she can as a power move, or if it was actually true. Or the other side, the claims that were being said about Veronica Butler, or what happened to these children under the supervision of Veronica Butler. Were they slinging mud back as well? Or is that actually true? But obviously, it got really nasty. And then at the end of the day, Veronica Butler doesn't have full custody. Gam Gam got full custody. So I'm curious about all that. Who was slinging mud at who first, and why was the mud being slung? Is that the past term of sling? I'm just curious about that. But this is where it all started, and it just got worse. And this woman was refused the idea of the biological mother having custody over her children, so much that she erased this woman from this planet. That's insane, guys. Insane.
The two moms' close-knit community are deeply grieving over their loss.
We read in the Bible that evil is in the world, and some people that don't know Jesus Christ are full of evil. As a Christian, we should forgive, but we also have to have the laws of the government take over too.
Law enforcement is expected to give an update on their search for the two missing mothers and the bodies that they found later on this morning. Mark.
Yeah, and we're about to look at that right now. Okay, guys? But yeah, like I said, it still blows my mind that these individuals got together, they band together, they plotted this out, and then they did this. And I mean, I get it that it's alleged, innocent until proven guilty, but by the court of public opinion, we were all side-eyeing grandma. I think all of us are just a little shocked on how big it became, how many people are involved in the disappearance and the alleged unaliving of these two women. Okay. But real quick, Nicole B, thank you so much for the two. I appreciate the super chat. Was Granny getting a check for the kids? 131K. Yeah, we getting out here, guys. We're getting out here with 131,000 subscribers. Is amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for that question. That's a good question. I don't know. Was she getting a check for the kids? And maybe that's one of the reasons why she wanted to continue having custody over the children. Sometimes money could be the only motivator. It may not even be because of the having love or care for the children. It's the check. That could be it too, which is even more disturbing if that's the case, right? But before we continue, please do me a favor. Hit that like button down below, please, and thank you. Crush it. All right, I see a bunch of y'all in here. I do appreciate all y'all for being in here. Let's get it up to 800. Let's get it to 800 likes if you're watching on YouTube, okay? And of course, please do me a favor. Do not forget to crush that subscribe button. If you like the way I tell these stories, I appreciate it. And of course, I talk about everything from true crime to pop culture and everything in between. But lately we have been very heavy on the true crime stuff because it has been wild out here, guys. It has been very, very wild. One thing I will say, just so you guys know, reason why I started a little bit earlier today on this particular press conference than the scheduled time is because I will be doing a breakdown or a conversation about the Karen Reed case/trial that's about to pop off. They're going into jury selection, if I'm correct, this very week. All right. And yes, it's a very, very polarizing case. And we're going to talk about that today, this afternoon. So be sure to hit that notification bell, set it to all so you know when I go live, because it will be in a couple hours from this show. We're going to be talking about that and chopping it up. And because I know for a fact that trial is going to be crazy. There are people out there in Boston. Some people are team Karen Reed. Some people are not. Some believe that she has been framed. Some believe that she really did that to her boyfriend, John O'Keefe. Like I said, we're going to talk about a lot of this and much, much more in a couple hours. We're going to be breaking down the case, or at least going through the broad strokes of what they have exposed so far. And of course, why everybody's lost their doggone minds over this case. Because a lot of people have. It has been pretty crazy. Okay. Now, Lily, Lil Patty, sorry. In my honest opinion, they were using the kids to hurt each other. Yep, that's absolutely right. That's absolutely right. But that's the thing. We live in a world where a lot of times when a relationship breaks up and there's children involved, a lot of times one individual or both individuals will try their best to have control or power over the other by using the kids. It's unfortunate, but it really is true. Oh, I have custody because, like, how dare you break up with me, or how dare you go out and cheat, or whatever it may be. And it'll be like, well, if you did that to me, I'm going to make your life a living hell. You're never going to see those kids. Not once, not never, kind of thing. I'm going to make it a hard time that you even be able to go to, spend a little bit of time with your son, so on and so forth. Those things are really real. It's sad, messed up, but it's real. And we've seen it countless times. We're hearing those same kind of situations in other cases, like Sebastian Rogers' case. Way before he went missing, there was BS between Katie Proudfoot and Seth Rogers. Way before when they were going through the divorce. Things that were being said, mud slinging back and forth, things getting murky, people playing dirty. We see this all the time. It is a tale as old as time. We hear this stuff all the time. We hear a lot of baby daddy or baby mama drama. This is basically around that, in that same category or in that same ballpark as well. And I say, guys, I'm going to put in my own 2 cents on this, since we just are tapping into the conversation. Ladies and germs, leave them kids alone. Okay? Isn't that a song? Leave them kids alone. You know what I'm saying? Just leave them alone. Keep them out of it. Remember, it took 2 to tango. And if the other partner, spouse, ex-spouse, whatever, is a good person, is helping provide and all that, and they're not a monster, why rid them of the opportunity to grow with their children? I'm just saying, instead of it getting all crazy, instead of, getting all nutty out here, all right? Remember that this person, if they are really a stand-up person with the child, loves that child just as much as you do. And how much is that affecting the child as well? Think about that too. Because eventually that kid's seeing that stuff too. Or their witness in the room as you're yelling at the spouse or getting angry, saying certain things. These kids are sponges. They're grabbing all that stuff and they're putting it in their brain matter too. And then they're sitting there going, oh, this is how relationships are. This is how I treat my lover or my spouse or my alleged supposed to be best friend. This is how we operate out here in these streets. Oh, it's supposed to be toxic and messy. Like I said, lead by example. Choose wisely. Choose wisely. And if you don't, you make a mistake, hey, as far as like the person you decide to be with and you guys part, it's okay. But lead and move on as adults. When it gets all nasty and dirty like this is, the kids are watching too. And they notice when you start acting like children too. But real quick, E-Week, thank you so much for the super chat. Dollar Vision is in Boston. Y'all should do some coverage together. That's a heavy one. Dollar likes your executions of some things. Wow, of some things. Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's good to know that he's in Boston doing the coverage out there. That's what's up. Yeah, I'll look into it for sure. But let's get into this press conference, guys. Let's get into this press conference. All right. It's a whole lot of nothing, to be honest. It's a whole lot of nothing. But we're going to talk about it. Let's take a look.
For everybody involved. This case did not end the way we had hoped. It has certainly been a tragedy for everybody involved. The mission of the OSBI, though, is to protect Oklahoma one partnership at a time. And certainly this case and is an example of how those partnerships work, and how it takes everybody coming together to bring resolution. And so while I am very grateful for all of my agents that have worked since the very beginning, 24 hours a day, to get us to the point we are today, we could not have reached where we're at without the partnerships of the Texas County Sheriff's Office, the District 1 District Attorney's Office, without our FBI partners, and without the assistance of the Oklahoma Medical Examiner's Office and the Oklahoma Highway Patrol that could not be here.
Okay. Don't worry. I'm not going to be cutting in and out a lot of this presser. I'm just going to let it roll. But one thing that drives me nuts, and I get that they have to do all this like stuff, this mucky muck, it's all it's the technical jargon, I don't know how to explain it, but one thing is for sure. I really am wondering what is up with these mic stands. What's going on with these mic stands? You got a C stand. You got like somebody who just like took some duct tape or like, what is that over on this? Look at that. You got like yellow duct tape. Like they just made something up, and then you got a camera stand with a mic with a zip tie. Like, oh, I'm done. But anyway, it's all this technical stuff. It's the technical jargon stuff. Like, we have to say thank you to the this, and this. Thank you so much for cars. Thank you so much for the gravel that's underneath the car's wheels. Thank you so much for the wind. It's all that stuff. But this this whole thing is homemade. Look at it. No stands whatsoever. And I get it. Maybe they realized that there weren't going to be a podium, so they had to make something up really, really quick. But man, look at that. They Anyway, I thought that was interesting. I'm like, am I on crack? Or is that a camera tripod with a mic just slapped on top of it with a zip tie? And I'm like, whoa, wow. They did that. They did that. I guess, by any means necessary. Let's go.
So our condolences go out to the family, and we will continue to update you as we continue to move this investigation forward. And I'm going to now turn it over to our FBI partners. Thank you.
Here we go. Nothing
My name
burger.
is Sonia Garcia. I am acting special agent in charge for the Oklahoma City Field Office, FBI. On behalf of the entire FBI, I want to express our sincerest condolences to the family and loved ones of Veronica and Jilian.
Real quick, I'm sorry. One thing. Instantly, you need to hear this. You heard what she just said right off the bat. My condolences. My condolences. You're going to hear the rest of this, but you're going to hear the rest of it. She says, Oklahoma's go all out. Stop, Toro. But she instantly starts it with my condolences. But listen to check it out. That's important information. So clearly, Veronica and Jilian are no longer alive. That's one thing that we can walk away from for sure. Without a shadow of a doubt, they are no longer here. 5-0 would not show up and say right off the bat, oh, condolences. But it's interesting because they start backpedaling here in just a little bit. Okay. Sorry, won't interrupt anymore. Let us continue. I just figured that was very important for all of us to walk away from. Okay, right off the bat.
The FBI was requested to assist on this matter on April 4th. And since then, we've had a dedicated team of analysts, agents, evidence response, and tactical personnel working around the clock and alongside with OSBI and Texas County Sheriff's Office to bring the individuals responsible for this crime into custody and to provide a sense of closure to the families and to this community. Know that we are grieving with you today. We will continue to work with our partners and to be an advocate for Jilian and Veronica and to ensure that justice will be served. Thank you.
That's it for her. Continuing on.
My name is Matt Boley. I am the Sheriff of Texas County, and I would also like to offer our condolences to the family. Right. My agency's role in this is that we received a call on March 30th of an abandoned vehicle missing, with persons missing from the vehicle. Deputies immediately responded to the area. When they arrived on scene, they found some things that just weren't adding up. So we established a crime scene and then notified the OSBI to have them come and assist us with this and to actually take lead on the case. All right. We established a search party made up of the Guyman Fire Department and several of the volunteer fire departments in the county. And we searched the area around the crime scene for about a mile in each direction. Once the OSBI arrived on the scene, they took the lead and got us to this point where we are today. I'd like to thank the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation, especially the Northwest region. They were phenomenal in this. The Federal Bureau of Investigations, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol, Guyman Fire Department, several Kansas agencies that assisted, local agencies here in Texas County that assisted, and I'm sure I've forgotten a few, but I'd like to just say thank you, even to the public. There was a lot of questions from the public as was there any danger to the public? And I think from the get-go, once we arrived on scene, that and we gained a little bit of information that we felt this wasn't a random deal. All right, we felt that with some of the information coming in that it was more targeted, and we started to look in those areas that we were pointed to. Okay, thank you.
And that's it. That's the flattest flat top I've seen in a long time. Real talk.
I'm George Harrison Leach III. I'm the district attorney for District 1. I wanted to start to let you know that on Friday, the informations were filed, and they were filed under seal. The reason they were filed under seal was to protect our law enforcement officers and to try to keep the children out of harm's way. We were successful. No shots were fired, and the children were kept out of harm's way. Our district judge issued an order this morning, and those files are now unsealed. So you can get the informations at the courthouse, you can get the affidavits at the courthouse, which will give you the facts that we were working off of. Additionally, I would like to begin by, this has been an amazing enterprise. I was reading on social media some of this stuff, and there were people out there that thought law enforcement was asleep, that they weren't doing anything. There were even additional law enforcement agencies, the Kansas Bureau of Investigation, Dallam County Sheriff's Office, Sherman County Sheriff's Office from the state of Texas. Everybody came together and everybody helped. We're probably talking somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 law enforcement officers. Truly, no exaggeration, working night and day for 15 days. I want to thank the public. We had people calling us from North Texas Panhandle, from the Oklahoma Panhandle, from Southwest Kansas, providing us information, responding because they cared. And the information we received from them was critical. Also want to thank corporate America. I don't know how many search warrants we issued. I'm telling you, they responded in lightning speed. anything we needed, any order we sent, we got everything that we needed. Lastly, I'd like to thank all the law enforcement agencies that came together and worked together as a team, and all their personnel. They did a fantastic job. Thank you.
Nothing. But okay. Bad guys are locked up. That's one thing.
You guys have, go right on ahead.
Oh, this. Hold on. This. I don't even know who this guy is. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know who this guy is, but it's pretty wild that he comes in hot. He comes right in and he's like, you got any questions? I'll answer for you. You know what I mean? And then this is very interesting. Just hear his responses. It's a lot of nope. Can't say that. Can't confirm nor deny that. Nope. No. You're gonna hear.
Not at this time. We have, we identified that there were 2 bodies during our search.
Okay.
Both of those deceased persons have been transported to the Oklahoma Medical Examiner's Office,
Okay.
where they will do a proper identification and also look into a cause and manner of death.
2 bodies have not been identified at all. And they're not sitting here saying that they are that of Veronica or Jilian, just so you guys know. But, I mean, obviously, we are all leaning on the side of this is probably them. And why would you start off a whole press conference with law enforcement saying our condolences to the families right off the bat? So they clearly know something, okay?
What led to the discovery of the bodies?
Based on the evidence that our agents and local law enforcement were able to obtain, we used that to search a wide area throughout Texas County, and we were able to use those resources in order to find where these 2 bodies were. It's a case-by-case basis, but as soon as we hear back from the Oklahoma Medical Examiner's Office, we will let the public know.
Can you describe the scene where these bodies were recovered and what state these remains are in?
No, I mean, I can say that it was a very rural area. I cannot state the condition of the bodies.
Hold on. Okay, I lied. I said I wasn't going to break this down. I was just going to let it roll. I'm lying. I'm sorry. I lied. Okay, but when you say, he said, when he says it was a very rural area, what does he mean by that? Now, I know that some people are sitting there going, does it mean that they were found in a pig farm? We don't know. But he says they were found in a rural area. Could that mean that they were found in a pig farm or no? But it also could mean that they were just found in the middle of nowhere. Okay. So let's continue. Oh, and Dope Soul just said, Pascal, hi. I hear you. Wow. Okay. Affidavits indicate the bodies were 8.5 miles away from where the car was found. Private property where Tad Cullum rents pasture property. Hole had been dug, filled back in, and covered with hay. I would really love to see this affidavit. Does anybody have that? And can you send it my way? Okay? Just send it my way, because that's very interesting information right there. So if you got it, so I don't have to go and search for it. Yes, I'm being lazy. I know. But if you have it, please send it my way. That'd be greatly appreciated. Let me grab this really quick. Thank you, Misty. Redneck and knees. Full display with the duct tape and zip ties. Stop. I didn't say it. That was a super chat. Hamburger. Okay, but this was definitely S-Dubs. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being back. But premeditated or premedicated. I think you meant premeditated. Maybe you meant premeditated. But yes, premeditated, if that's what you mean. Absolutely premeditated. So that's wild. If that's true, that the bodies were found 8.5 miles away from the car, from the crime scene, right? And then that they were in a hole, they were underground with hay on top of it. Yeah. This was definitely premeditated, for sure. Okay. Yes. So yeah, I think it was Dope Soul that was asking for it. Yes, please send it my way. Email it to me. I'd love to see it. I think we all would like to see. That information. Okay. So if you can, please send it my way. But let's continue on. Let's hear what he has to say. The man in his snazzy suit.
Private property.
I cannot confirm that at this time.
In Oklahoma, there's the death penalty. If convicted, could we possibly maybe see this in the States?
You would have to reach out to the district attorney's office. That'll be something that will be discussed further down the line.
DA Stewart alluded to a lot of people calling in with a lot of tips. Were there particular tips that broke this case?
We received several tips throughout this entire process. The public, I mean, I know that we had thanked that our local law enforcement agencies, what they were able to help us and throughout this search, but the people here throughout this area have done a tremendous job of reaching out to us. The original press release that we had put out on March 31st in regards to searching for these two women, we constantly received several tips and had used those throughout the entire 14-day process in order to find these two bodies, and then also discover and find those who were responsible for this crime.
So the reason foul play was suspected was because of evidence found in the car. Can you go into more detail now of what that evidence was?
You're
We
good.
cannot still at this time. It is still an ongoing investigation, and that is for our investigative purposes. Again, we can say that the evidence that was discovered inside of that abandoned vehicle and around it, we're able to help our investigators determine that there was foul play involved, and then led to the progression of this investigation. What was in the vehicle around it, we cannot discuss.
It was quite a convoy in executing these 4 search warrants. Was there concern of resistance to arrest? How much concern was there over a possible gunfight?
When you are regarding arrests and multiple arrests in the magnitude that we have all discussed, there is always, there is always a cause of, of trying to protect the public as best you possibly can. We can say that all 4 of those arrests were made without incident, and so that, of course, went extremely well, and we are extremely grateful. Another agency that wasn't able to make it, that was a big part of that and helped us tremendously, was the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. So we want to thank them tremendously on that. But I mean, again, there was concern, but we are extremely thankful that no one was hurt, no one was injured during this process.
Did any of the 4 suspects charged in the case tell law enforcement where to find them?
Say that one more time.
Did any of the 4 suspects charged in the case tell law enforcement where to find them?
No, we cannot discuss that at this time.
How early did you guys have suspects?
We can't discuss that at this time.
Are you able to go into further detail how you believe that this was targeted?
I got something. I found something.
Based on the evidence and the information that we were able to obtain throughout the entire investigation, what was found inside of the vehicle, witnesses, family, friends of the victims that we were able to talk to throughout this entire process, we were able to gain the information to determine that that these 4 people were responsible for both of these women going missing.
Like I said, all the information, all that stuff, breadcrumbs, etc., that have been left behind. I feel like these 4 did not do they were dumb criminals. Thank God that they were dumb criminals, that they didn't do, that they left too many things behind. That's what I think. Okay. I do have some paperwork or an article here that we're going to look at here in a little bit that gives us a little bit more insight into the documents, the probable cause affidavit, etc., that we're going to be looking at here as well, which I think is very, very interesting nonetheless. So we're going to take a look at that. I just kind of Googled something really quick and was able to find a little something. So we're going to take a look at that after he is done. And I'm not roasting his suit. He looks sharp. It's a nice suit. Some people need to chill. Lorraine, chill. Okay. My Lord, I am not roasting his snazzy suit. I said it's a snazzy suit. It looks good. I can't tell somebody that somebody looks good. Looks together in his suit. Damn, y'all are funny. Y'all are funny. Tranquilo, por favor. Tranquilo.
We cannot confirm that at this time.
What's the relationship, if any, between the suspects and Veronica and Jilian?
Again, because it is still an ongoing investigation, we cannot discuss that.
We know that one arrest was in Texas County, the three others in Cimarron. Can you describe the arrest process? You said there was no resistance, but
That's all we can really say at this time. And we can say that the 4 people that we were looking for were found, arrested, and placed into custody within the same day. And there was no resistance.
Bang. No resistance. No resistance. They went in there and they were able to swoop in with one movement and get these guys. That's very big to me as well.
talk about the evidence in this case, but is there significant physical evidence in this investigation?
Yes.
Can you elaborate?
No.
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 Is there a reason you guys were so tight-lipped right off the start? You said there wasn't a threat to the public when you guys were investigating, but still not a lot of information was released. Is there a reason for that?
There was not immediate threat to the public. Again, as the sheriff alluded, this was a targeted case. And when you ask about us not releasing a lot of information in that 2-week process, this is the way that our investigators work. This is what you have to do in order to get the job done, everybody involved in order to catch those responsible and do everything in our power to find both of these people who went missing from the very beginning. So again, as we tried to do, as the investigation progresses, we can release as much details as we possibly can. But again, the way that this process works is you can't give away as much as maybe you guys are asking for, because that's how we're able to catch these 4 suspects.
Did law enforcement speak with Tiffany Adams on March 30th?
I cannot confirm that.
Is the property where the bodies were found connected to the suspects at all?
I cannot confirm that.
See, can't say nothing. Can't say nothing. Can't say nothing. Can't confirm. Can't say that. Can't say that either. It's frustrating, but I get it. I get it. I get it. But at the same time, dang, you wish that they would give us just a little. Like, if sometimes I wonder what's the point of doing a press conference if they're not willing to give us a little bit of something. But I get it that they have to do this, to give the public the a little bit of that exposure, to have that line of communication out there to the public, especially to the news, because clearly, if they weren't going to give any type of update at all, if they weren't going to do any type of update, news would have been making a meal out of them. Real talk. Why aren't you talking? So on and so forth. So much that the conspiracies would get even wilder and wilder, saying, "Oh, there's something deeper going on." So on and so forth. It's pretty crazy. But anyway, let's continue.
Was Kelley a court-appointed supervisor for Butler's visits with the children?
We can't go into that.
So I know the bodies haven't been identified, but everyone expressed their condolences. Do you think there's any chance that Veronica and Jilian are still alive?
No.
Any word on arraignment?
We will look into that further. When that is made available, we will let everybody know.
Hold on. I'm going to roll that back because I want to hear her question one last time.
Any word on arraignment?
Okay.
We will look into that further. When that is made available, we will let everybody know.
As the investigation progresses, do you expect the possibility for more suspects to be arrested?
Not at this time.
Have the suspects been cooperative and talkative, or have they provided any type of confession?
We cannot release that at this time.
Have the families helped you guys during this process?
Yes.
What's that been like?
Families, friends, people that have known both of these women who went missing have been a tremendous help. Everybody that we have talked to has helped us tremendously in doing everything they can to give us the necessary information in order for us to try to track them down and find out what happened.
It's interesting because broad stroke answers, if you notice, because he could easily sit there and go, "Oh yeah, the third cousin twice removed said this, and this, and that's what led us to Tiffany and her cohorts, right? He could have easily said that, but nope, he's not saying that at all.
Where are the children?
We can't go into that right now.
Are they?
They're safe. Yes.
Are they
Children are safe.
them?
We can't go into that.
FBI is involved. Will they face any federal charges?
We're not going to go into that right now.
So what next? Is there going to be further investigation?
Yes, the investigation continues. The next steps are when the identification of the two victims is made, we will let everyone know. And when the cause and manner of death is made by the medical examiner's office, we will let everyone know. Right?
Were the bodies together?
We cannot confirm that.
Wait a second.
Cause and manner of death is made by the medical examiner's office, we will let everyone know. Right?
Were the bodies together?
We cannot confirm that.
Jeez.
Right now, there are no suspects at large. The public is not in danger. That's what's important to us. We are extremely grateful that we were able to locate and arrest the 4 people that we believe are responsible for this crime. As soon as the identification is made with the bodies, we will let everyone know. But again, it took everybody in this case to get this done. We know that there were people throughout the 2-week process who were frustrated, who wanted answers as soon as possible. You know, we wanted those answers too. But just know that our OSBI agents, FBI agents, troopers, Kansas Bureau of Investigation, the KHP, everybody worked nonstop in order to come together and make these arrests.
Can you talk at all about the relationship between?
No, we can't go into that right now.
Was there ever any concern for the children at any point in this investigation? Like for their safety?
There's always concern whenever there's children involved, but we can say that the children are safe.
With this being such a rural area, did this make this case unique in any way?
It made it challenging. Again, you're talking about northern Texas County, near that Kansas line. It's very rural. Those of you in the media that have been up there covering this, there's not a lot of homes, not a lot of buildings or businesses. Sometimes you could use cameras to help you in this case. We did not have that. So that's what made it extremely challenging.
Is there any video evidence?
Not at this time.
Have you ever seen a case like this? Like, is there anything different about it?
The OSBI covers all kinds of cases. Each case is different in their own way. They're all just as important to us. But, you know, this case was tragic. You have 2 people who are dead, and 4 people that committed an absolutely brutal crime. So, again, that's why it took every agency involved in this in order to get this done.
Ain't that something?
Yes. Is everybody good?
You done? You done? You had enough? Yeah. And there it is. And there it is. Y'all, listen. Okay. When he came up, it just basically felt like he just walked up and said, no to everything. It was just no to everything, pretty much. And every other question that he answered was a very blanketed, broad stroke, kind of like a lot of people came together and said this. You know, it was a lot of that. And it's like, okay, cool. We're trying to get details from you, but you're not giving any details. And I get it. They're not going to say much right now because it's still an ongoing investigation. But there are a few things that I wish that were kind of answered, like, hey, let's just ask the main question. Are those actually their bodies? Are we confirmed with that information? Is that for sure their remains? And also, of course, how were they found? Were they able to connect the dots and put this whole thing together? I wish that they were able to say, and they're like, well, there's a lot that you could see in the probable cause affidavit, in the documents, and so on and so forth. And it's kind of like, well, hey, why didn't you just say it then? If it's going to be released to the public, If the court documents are going to be released to the public, why wouldn't you just instantly tell people, yo, this is how we got them. This is how we found it, and so on and so forth. You know, sure, they're repeating the same things that are in the court documents, but they could at least talk about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how I feel about that. It's like, yeah, it will be released very, very soon. You'll see it in the court documents. But we have you physically here. This is honestly an opportunity for them to step forward and go, look, look how fresh we are. Look how fly we are. Law enforcement with our detective work, doing our due diligence. You know what I mean? An opportunity to show off a little bit. You know, caught the fish this big kind of thing. Look how fire we are, because we all banded together and we were able to figure this out quick without security from what we know, without security camera footage, with them just being without any of the things that we usually rely on if this was a heavily populated area with a crap ton of technology. But no, they don't even do that. They're like, yeah, you'll see it when it gets released. Bruh, you're right here, homie. Bruh, just say it here. Okay, we want to hear from you. We don't want to read. You know what I mean? Yeah, Nicole B, gloat a little bit. This is the moment that they can, you know, make it a little bit more grandiose. Gloat a little bit, you know? But no, they didn't do that. This is very weird. But remember how they started off the press conference, sending our condolences. That says enough for me. Okay? Either somebody confessed or they believe for sure that those remains are that of Veronica and Jilian. And that's still unbelievably terrible information, right? No matter what. But it is interesting how 5-0 operates out here. You could have easily just given us the information if it's already been released, which we're going to be taking a look at a little bit of something here. I'm not going to look at the whole affidavit. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to do the whole doggone thing. I don't know how many pages is it and how long it is. We're going to take a look at it. If it is really short, then I may do the whole doggone thing. But let's take a look at this article that gives us some points. Okay, some takeaways from this. Okay, let's take a look at this. All right. So court documents for suspects in missing Kansas women case, part of anti-government group. Oh, boy. Yeah, it just gets thicker than a snicker, guys. Thicker than a snicker. Let's take a look at this. All right. Okay, so I'm going to skip through a bunch of crap. Okay, so News 10 obtained the affidavits of probable cause for the arrest warrants. On Saturday, March 30th, the Texas County Sheriff's Office requested the OSBI services with the suspicious disappearance of Veronica Butler and Jilian Kelley. Court documents say it was discovered that Butler was in a problematic custody battle with Tiffany Adams with one F for custody of Butler's two children. Okay. Now, the father of those children is Wrangler Rickman, Adams' son. Butler's visitation with her children was court ordered to be supervised every Saturday. It was arranged for Kelley to supervise the visit. Jilian Kelley. Okay, Butler told family members she was going to pick up her children from Adams at Four Corners in Texas County. Butler and Kelley left Hugoton, Kansas, and traveled to Highway 95 and Road L. Documents reveal Butler planned to bring her daughter to a birthday party, but after they did not arrive, the family began looking for Butler. Family members located the abandoned vehicle just west of the intersection. The family members then contacted law enforcement. An examination of the vehicle and areas surrounding the vehicle found evidence of a severe injury. That is interesting. Found evidence of a severe injury. So in other words, well, it says it right here. Documents state blood was found on the roadway and the edge of the roadway. So something really, really bad happened. Okay. Butler's glasses were also found in the roadway near a broken hammer. Let me repeat that again. Glasses were also found in the roadway near a broken hammer. And I'm wondering what's up with the broken hammer. Did they use that to bust open the window, something of that sort? Because that's something else. A broken hammer. Why a broken hammer? That's crazy, right? But her glasses were also found in the roadway. There's obviously signs of a severe injury that happened because of the amount of red that was found, not only just on the roadway, but on the side of the road as well. A pistol magazine was found inside Kelley's purse at the scene, but the pistol was not found. Interesting. Ooh, could there have been a firefight? Did she maybe pull out her pistol? You see what I'm saying? If she actually did, I mean, if there's a magazine, a pistol magazine found inside her purse, then I'm assuming Jilian had protection on her and she may have pulled that pistol out and there may have been a firefight. Interesting though, right? No pistol was in that purse. That's important information too. Adams told OSBI that on Friday night, okay, let me just say this. Adams, Tiffany with an F, with one F, okay, Gam told OSBI that on Friday night, Rickman and Butler's children stayed the night with family friends. Adams said she planned to pick them up the morning before the visitation. Okay, so Veronica Butler's children, and of course, her ex's children as well. Okay, so those two children stayed the night at a family friend's. She was planning on picking them up that morning before the visitation so that they can do the exchange. Okay, so that she can drop them off and put them in possession or with Veronica Butler. Okay, Adams said she called Butler to confirm the meeting, and Butler told Adams something came up. And she wasn't going to make it. So she lying. Okay. Miss Tiffany, okay, Gam is lying. So she says, oh, we were supposed to meet up, and then she changed plans. Oh, she said she couldn't make it anymore. Butler's phone records confirmed the call occurred, but at the time of the call, Butler was in Kansas in process of picking up Kelley. Adams stated that she was at home, or she was home at the time Butler and Kelley went missing. Adams picked the children up before noon. OSBI interviewed the person who usually supervises the visits, and she said she was available to supervise that day, but Adams told her to take a couple weeks off from visitation so Adams could question the children. Related to how Butler's approved visitation supervisors were. That's weird. So wait, let me say that again. That sounded all jumbled up. So OSBI interviewed the person who usually supervises the visits, and she said she was available to supervise that day, but Adams told her, Tiffany, Gam, told her to take a couple weeks off from visitation. So Adam could question the children could question the children how Butler's approved visitation supervisors were. Interesting. Okay. That's weird. Okay. So Butler and Kelley's phone records indicated their devices were actively sending signals until about 9:42 a.m., which after which the devices were no longer seen by the networks and stopped transmitting. So somebody turned off their phones. Adams was the last known person to communicate with Butler, which is a huge red flag, and was scheduled to meet Butler and Kelley for the visitation at 10 a.m. Court documents state recordings were obtained where Rickman discussed threats, okay, by Adams and Adams' boyfriend, Tad. Court documents, state recordings were obtained where Wrangler, the baby daddy, discussed threats by Gam Gam and Gam Gam's boyfriend, Tad. The custody battle began in February of 2019. On March 18th, 2024, and March 20th, 2024, motions were filed requesting extended visitation for Butler. A hearing was scheduled to occur on April 17th, 2024. Butler's attorney informed OSBI that Butler was likely to receive unsupervised visitation with her children at that hearing. So she was about to walk away with being able to take the children without supervision anymore. That is a big deal. Okay? That is a very, very big deal. Interesting. At times, Adams refused to let Rickman have his children, even though he had legal custody of them. So Tiffany, Gam Gam, Wrangler's mother, even withheld the children from the biological father. Ain't that something? Granny was Gam Gam crazy, man. That's all I'm going to say. She's like, nope, you don't even get him. You don't even get the kids either. No, Wrangler. No, Wrangler. You don't get the kids. Interesting. Law enforcement previously responded to a call for service where Adams refused to give her own son his children. What? 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 Unless she really thinks like, okay, my son is a bad apple. The mother of these children is a bad apple as well. Ain't nobody gonna have these kids. Ain't nobody. Now, let me roll this back really quick, okay? Because there's court recordings or there's state recordings that were obtained where Wrangler discussed threats. He was receiving threats. Look at this. He was receiving threats. Took a minute for me for it to set off in my head, okay? But it is set off, okay? But ain't that weird? Even Wrangler was receiving threats from his own mama and his mama's boyfriend, Ted. Then he was having a hard time getting even unsupervised visitation of his own children. Gam Gam, his own mama, is sitting there going, nope, you don't get these kids. No, you're not on my watch. You ain't getting these kids. So even Wrangler was having a hard time wrangling his own kids. Get it? No? But moving on. Law enforcement previously responded to a call for service where Gam Gam refused to give Wrangler his own kids, guys. This is bad. So in other words, I keep wondering, was Tad in her ear? Was she basically saying like, this is an opportunity to start all over again? Like, this is my family. I got Tad, me, the two kids. We don't need anybody else. They're all bad apples. We don't need them. But these two bundles of joy, they're now mine. And we're going to raise them together, Tad, as a fam. It's crazy, guys. Wow. Rickman's grandmother reported in February 2024, so not his mom, but his grandmother, his own grandmother. Okay? She reported that in February, this past February, that Wrangler told her they didn't have to worry about the custody battle much longer because Adams had it under control. That Adams knew the path the judge walked to work. And quote unquote, we will take out Veronica at drop off. What? Okay. I'm going to repeat that again. Because I know in the nosebleed seats, some of y'all going like, wait, what? So let me repeat that one more time. So grandma, Rickman's grandma, okay, so the great grandmother to the kids, okay, that are involved in this whole nasty custody battle, okay, reported in February of 2024, this just a few months ago, just a few weeks ago, all right, Rickman told her they didn't have to worry about the custody battle much longer because Adams' mama had it under control. And that Gam, okay, or his mama, knew the path the judge walked to work. And, quote unquote, we will take out Veronica at drop off. What in the hell? So they were going to put in some work on the judge, maybe take him off this planet or scare the daylights out of him, right? Into him signing some papers or something like that, right? And that they were going to literally, quote unquote, take out Veronica during an exchange, during a time when they're dropping the kids off to her. So they had this whole thing planned out. So Wrangler even knew about this as well. That's crazy. Oh, don't worry, Ma. Don't worry, Grandma. Mama got this all figured out. She knows exactly where he walks to work. He knows his path. He knows everything. And hey, you know, Veronica will get taken care of soon enough. So Wrangler knew all about this too. Interesting. Let's continue. Wrangler was confirmed to be in a rehabilitation center or facility in Oklahoma City at the time of the disappearance. So he was nowhere near this crime. He was in a rehab facility during this time. Now, I know a lot of us were wondering, like, you know, maybe he signed out, jumped in the car, drove out there, did this unthinkable thing, jumped back in the car, signed back in. Maybe he has to do a little pee test to show that he wasn't out there, doing some chemicals and doing some party favors. Maybe that's the case. Nope. They're saying that he was indeed in that rehab center, nowhere near this crime scene. Okay. And the children were in custody of Adams. So Tiffany had the kids at the house. Did she have her hand? Was she actually physically in the area holding a pew and hurting these two women? Don't know. But on April 1st of the year of our Lord, 2024, okay, OSBI agents obtained a search warrant for Adam's cell phone. Agents performed extraction on the device. Information gained from the device included web searches for taser pain level gunshops, prepaid cell phones, and how to get someone out of their house. What? See, like, why are criminals dumb? Why are criminals y'all know not to do this. I mean, please be dumb like this. Please be dumb like this, because I'd rather have you back, like, locked up and, you know what I mean, and just worried about dropping the soap. But this is dumb. Your web searches are this: gun shops, taser pain levels, prepaid cell phones, and another one, how to get someone out of their house? What? Now, I know that doesn't mean like how to dig a hole or how to, get rid of a body, so on and so forth. I know that's not that, but still, a lot of this is very odd, especially if that's activity. Right, those are the searches you are having right before somebody disappears. Like I said, it's a tell me you did it without telling me you did it, right? April 3rd, they interviewed daughter of Cora Twombly and Kobe White. The daughter stated that she had overheard group conversations related to Butler not protecting her children from her brother. Interesting. Right here. She stated that she had overheard group conversations related to Butler not protecting her children from her brother. So remember, there were allegations of SA. Could the SA been performed? I'm just asking the question. I'm not sitting here saying that this is true, but could the SA, these unthinkable acts, been performed by Veronica Butler's brother? Or at least the speculation and the allegations of him doing something unthinkable like SA. Interesting that they're having a conversation about that and how she was not protecting her children from her brother. Interesting, guys. And this also could be another, I got to say this too. This also could be another reason or another a motivating factor on why they were so quick to do what they ended up doing, because I guess they didn't want her to get custody because they don't want the kids to go back anywhere near this alleged monster. Still, you don't do that. You just fight it out in court. You don't erase someone from the planet like this. You just don't. But could that be the main factor? Like, I can't let her have the kids because they're going to go back in the same room, in the same area. They're going to be within reach of that monster. I can't let that happen. Maybe that's what was going on in their heads. But at the same time, you don't do that. You don't erase somebody from this planet. And again, that all depends on if that information is actually true. Those are just allegations. So interesting, right? Interesting. The daughter said that she was told by Cora that Adams, Cullum, Cora Cole, and Paul Grice, I guess that's how you pronounce his last name, were involved in the demise of Butler and Kelley. So who's Paul? Interesting. Because it's Tiffany, it's Tad, it's Cora. I guess that's okay. Paul. I guess I forgot one of the guys' names. I knew it was 4, but I'm like, who? But interesting. Okay, moving on. So she says that all 4 of these people were involved in the demise of these 2 women. Okay, she stated that Adams had provided quote unquote burner phones to use so that they could communicate without using their personal devices. She said she saw 2 quote unquote burner phones charging on Cora's nightstand. The daughter also said Cora, Cole, Adams, Cullum, and Paul Grice were part of an anti-government group that had a religious affiliation. Here we go. Through OSBI investigation, it was learned that they called their group God's Misfits. So they call themselves God's Misfits. Okay. Regular meetings were held weekly. The daughter was told on March 29th, 2024, that Cora and Cole would not be home in the morning and they were going to be on a mission. When she woke around 10 a.m., Cora and Cole were not at home, but came home around 12 p.m. She said Cole and Cora took a blue and gray Chevrolet pickup owned by them and a blue flatbed pickup owned by Clint Twombly when they left and returned in the same pickups. So they took 2 cars out there. The daughter was told to clean the interior of the Chevrolet pickup. When the daughter asked what happened, she was told, quote unquote, that things did not go as planned, but they would not have to worry about her, Veronica Butler, again. The daughter asked about Kelley and why she had to perish, quote unquote, and was told by Cora that she wasn't innocent either, as she had supported Butler. So they erased Jilian Kelley because they believed that she wasn't innocent either. And they said things did not go as planned, but they didn't have to worry about Veronica ever again. Interesting. The daughter asked Cora if their bodies were put in a well, and Cora replied, something like that. The daughter also disclosed that other attempts to unalive Veronica Butler occurred during February of 2024 near Hugoton, Texas, in which Adams, Cullum, Cole, Cora, and Grace went to Hugoton, but Veronica did not leave her residence. In other words, she may have the Google search of how do you get someone out of their house. Interesting, right? The burner phones, the how to get someone out of their house. I'm wondering about the taser. And I'm also still, well, of course, we already know about the pew-pews, but that's interesting. All right. This, just so you guys know, this is the account from Cora's daughter. Let me just make sure you guys know this. The daughter of Cora Twombly, okay? Cora's daughter. Cora, who happens to be locked up right now, okay? So let's continue on. She says something like that. Okay. So the daughter also disclosed that there were attempts, like I said before. So the daughter said the plan was to throw an anvil through her windshield while she was driving. What? Is she Wile E. Coyote? Is this like the cartoons? The plan was to throw an anvil through Butler's windshield while driving, making it look like an accident because anvils regularly fall off of vehicles. Fall off of work vehicles. What? That's insane. Documents revealed the OSBI investigation showed that Adams searched for gun shops on her cell phone. A search of local gun shops showed Adams buying 5 stun guns in Guyman, I don't know, on March 23rd. So days before this happened. So they had an idea of throwing an anvil through Veronica Butler's windshield. And then, but before that, she went, bought 5 guns, 5 stun guns. OSBI also showed that Adams bought 3 prepaid cell phones from Walmart. According to the court documents, search warrants for location services information on the cell phones were completed and revealed all 3 phones were at the area where Butler's car was located. Interesting. I'm also wondering how they got their hands on the burner phones to begin with. You see what I'm saying? How did they get their hands on it? Because I figured that they would destroy these phones or, throw them into a river or something like that. Just destroy the information. But okay. Documents revealed all 3 phones were powered on and accessed for the first time at or near Cullum's home at different times before March 30th, maybe to make sure that they work. I don't know. Before Butler and Kelley's disappearance on the 30th of March, before 10:16 a.m. and 10:35 p.m., court documents reveal that the phones pinged at a property about 8.5 miles away from the car. Woo! This is when police start doing their due diligence. Okay, it's pinged over here. This is after they have, well, this is saying before their disappearance. Okay, so they had phones on them when they went to that particular area, 8.5 miles away from where the car would later be found. Isn't that interesting? So again, as S-Dub said, this is premedicated for sure. It's premeditated, okay, for sure. The documents state the property was below a dam in the pasture where fresh dirt work was located. Concrete was moved to about 150 to 200 yards below the dam, where it was discovered that a hole had been dug and filled back in, then covered with hay. Unbelievable, guys. And this, of course, is the documents and all that. But let me skip through that. OSBI says 43-year-old Tad Burt Cullum, 54-year-old Tiffany Mackle Adams, 50-year-old. Oh, she robbing the cradle. 50-year-old Cole Earl Twombly, and 44-year-old Cora Twombly were arrested in Texas and Cimarron counties. All four individuals were booked into the Texas County Jail on 2 counts of first-degree M, 2 counts of taking, we got to use these code words, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit M in the first degree. You know, I got to say this to 5-0. Dag nabbit. They see, it's the breadcrumbs. It's the little things, guys. It's the little things that get you in trouble, especially if you out here planning on doing something like muerte. Let's be real. It's the little things, guys. It's the little things. This whole thing was premeditated for show, without a shadow of a doubt. She was looking things up. This Gam was looking things up. She was trying to set things together. And one thing I am kind of curious about is Cora Twombly, Cole Twombly. I'm quite curious about that. But that's the other thing, though, too. Who's this Paul Grice person? Because I see a Cole Twombly, a Cora Twombly, I see Gam, and I see Tad. So who's Paul? That's just another thing question I have. Because does that mean that there's a 5th possible person involved in this? They just don't have a mugshot? I'm curious about that. Okay? Twombly is sorry. Stop it, you guys. Y'all diabolical. Okay? More diabolical than these 4. Maybe 5. But again, Gam crazy. Gam real crazy. Because she wasn't even allowing her own son to have possession or custody over his own children, even when he had custody over the children in the first place. Now, you never know. Son obviously is going through rehab and all that. Maybe he was strung out at that time. God only knows. He might have been going through his own personal battles, personal struggles, etc., and she didn't want him anywhere near those kids to begin with. But at the same time, it is interesting that you got Tad, 43. That's 43. That's 43. Do you understand? No. Take a look. That's 43. Oh my Lord. The devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Okay? Tad 43? Get the hell out. You can stop. Stop it. The devil is a liar. Oh, my Lord. Okay. But they're together. Those two, Tad and Tiffany, they're together. They got those two kids. They believe whatever they believe outside. I'm even saying outside of their anti-government group thing, you know, God's misfits, which clearly God ain't claiming them. Okay. God ain't claiming this. Let's keep it a buck. They ain't claiming this. He definitely ain't claiming this 43-year-old. That's 43? Man. Moisturized. Sunblock. Okay, my brothers and sisters that are sans melaninians. Okay, sunblock. Hydrate. I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm going to stop now. But that's 43. Okay. I digress. Here it is, though. Those two could have been like, hey, we're starting our own family. We got the two kids. We got all this stuff. Yay. Right? That could be it. We're going to be better parents than the parents will ever be. Veronica got her own brother who's all twisted and messed up, doing all kinds of unthinkable things. You got your son, Wrangler, you know, he's in rehab, dealing with his demons, battling those things off. Hey, we're better for them than those two. They're going to be in harm's way if we let them have custody over those children. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Veronica Butler puts in some paperwork trying to get custody of her children back. And then, of course, these two are like, nope, not on my watch. Hail to the no. Over your dead body type thing, which is very, very sad. Very, very sad. And the fact that you have other people that are just as twisted in their own minds were willing to sit there and say, yep, shoot, where are we rolling up to? Say less, bro. Say less. Say less, bro. Where we going, bro? We got you. That's exactly what happened here. Now, the other thing is, too, is it sounds like, at least from the documents and the information that we read from this article, and I appreciate this article because they just kind of gave us the summary of everything. Tiffany was in possession of the children during the time Veronica and Jilian disappeared. So you're telling me that she was home with the kids while possibly these three were out here doing the dirty work. You also got to remember there's premeditation because they went to the place where they were going to go and bury them. And I'm sure they had already dug the holes or hole that they were going to put their remains in. So they were found in that area. Like I said, we can all do the math. Their bodies were found. Veronica and Jillian's bodies were found in this hole, in this area, 8.5 miles away from the car. The fact that they're still sitting here going, well, we don't know for sure. We haven't had the identity. We haven't identified the bodies yet. Sure, they got to do their due diligence and all that stuff. Okay. Yes, there are possibilities of it not being them. It could be somebody else, but at the same time, it's highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely. Okay. But right in the very beginning of this press conference, that police officer said, our condolences to the family, to the families, I'm sorry. Clearly they have those two women. They may not have made it official yet, but they found them. They most definitely found them. And it's because these four, maybe five, I'm still wondering who this Paul Grice is, but maybe I'm wrong here. Who dat? Who that, who that, who that, who that, who that, who that, who that. Okay? But still, these individuals plotted this whole thing out. They sat down and talked about this. They planned this thing out for weeks. They got burner phones. They got stun guns. They dug holes away from the home, away from the place where this crime scene was. They took 2 cars, 2 pickup trucks so that they can move the bodies. And it clearly sounds like to me, it seems like they knew that they were going to take Jilian out as well. That it wasn't just a unfortunate series of events that led up to her losing her life, that they knew that they were going to be taking her out as well. Why take 2 pickup trucks? 2 of them. I'm kind of curious about that. And the other part is when they say, oh, some things went not according to plan, doesn't mean that they didn't know that she was going to be riding with the supervisor? Or is it because they didn't realize that Jilian was going to be coming out here strapped as well? You got to remember, a magazine to a pistol was found in Jilian's purse, but no pistol. And I guarantee you, they were like, we're going to pull up, we're going to pow, 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 we're going to grab them, we're going to throw them in the hole. But they pulled up, and that's not exactly how it went down. I'm sure Jilian pulled out, was like, pow, pow, etc. Also, they may have planned that there was going to be no injuries, that they were just going to lure them out of the car, put them in the back of this truck or trucks, drive them to this location, put them right into the ditch, and then do the deed there. Like there's some sort of gangsters from a movie, so that it won't be hard for them to carry or move the remains. That's a possibility as well. Obviously, I'm just throwing out scenarios here. I got questions, and I'm sure at some point we will get the answers to them. But no matter what, these 4, maybe there's more involved, because I'm still wondering who this Paul Grice is. But these 4 sat down and they plotted this out. Also, let's not forget, Oklahoma, because this is where the crime happened, is a death penalty state. So hopefully the Butler and Kelley family get the justice that they rightfully deserve. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. I'll be back on in the next couple hours or so, because we got to jump into this Karen Reed case. We're going to be looking at that, watching, consuming, and getting as much information as we can, because it is a wild one. The world has been very split on that, and so we will be talking about that for sure. One other thing, though, too, I want to say this really quick before I completely wrap up the show. Let me just turn this down a little bit, okay? Seth Rogers, Sebastian Rogers' father, put out they started a petition, and I'm putting it in the chat right now as we speak. Maybe, hopefully, mods, if you guys can please, like, maybe reshare it or something like that, pin it to the top of the chat or something like that. That'd be greatly appreciated. But I do want to bring this up really quick. They're trying to get the FBI involved in the search for Sebastian. I mean, it's been crazy, guys, especially with what's going on in Tennessee, TBI, etc. They've really not been doing what I feel like they should be doing. And I think that Seth and the people that have been out here looking for Sebastian are echoing the same thing. Hence the reason why there is now a change.org petition begging for FBI to get involved in the search for Sebastian. If FBI gets involved, this could This could give this case the shot of adrenaline, the shot of steroids that it absolutely needs right now. So please, if you can, go to change.org. I'll put it in the chat, okay, at the end of this show. Please go over there, sign the petition. FBI needs to get involved. They should have been involved a long time ago. We need to find this young man, okay? So please, if you can, go check that out. That'd be greatly appreciated. And Mimi, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, guys, go check that out if you can. Just takes 2 seconds to sign, okay? Please and thank you. In fact, let me pull this up so you guys can see it as well. Okay, I know that we're on a completely different conversation, but nonetheless, we need to talk about this too. Okay, this is just a petition. All right, we want the FBI to take over the investigation of the case of the missing Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers from Sumner County Sheriff's Office. Okay, so it's been 50 days, guys. 50 days since this young man has been seen or heard from. So please go over there. Last night when I received this information, it was a very small goal. And of course, because of you guys, because of your hearts, because of your energy, it has the petition, the goal keeps getting bigger and bigger. So please sign it before you get done with your day. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Okay. Let's see. Misty, thank you so much. Tad and Tiffany, together, Tomo. 43 looking 83. Yeah, that's a horde 43, y'all. That is a horde 43. But anyway, guys, I appreciate all y'all for being here. Thank you so much for the super chats. We will be talking in a couple hours. It will be probably around 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. I'll be on to talk about Karen Reed and the whole case. This week, they're going into jury selection. That starts tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely crazy. So please go and, make sure your notification bells are on. So do me a favor, guys, before we wrap up the show, hit that like button down below, please. And thank you. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. All right. Send it past 800 likes. That would really, really mean a lot. Of course, do not forget to hit that follow button on all my platforms. Follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram as well. All right. That'd be greatly appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Join my family, okay? My members, my membership. Go hit that join button down below. Check out my Patreon, patreon.com/the Pascal Show. So the ticker right there going that way as we speak. So go and check that out. And of course, check out pascalmerch.kazam. Okay, guys? I'd really, really appreciate that, guys. Okay? But anyway, it is time to get going. I'll see you guys in about an hour and a half. We got to jump into this Karen Reed discussion. For show, we're going to talk. All right. World is very split with that particular conversation. And I'm kind of curious as to why. We're going to talk about that. And hopefully we'll find out why together as a family. Okay. So be on the lookout for that. Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Have a great next hour and a half. Okay. And I'll see you guys soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. See you guys soon. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.